What I'm really struggling with is, as I understand, is that in North Carolina, for example, where I visited, you could have a flood or disaster victim that can get a check for $750. Yet when I go through and I look at the programs and resources that are available to a citizen of a different country that came illegally into the United States, under the FEMA administered program using nonprofits, you could be eligible for housing, for food, for transportation, for healthcare costs, and others. I was able to come, looking at the very documents that these nonprofits were using, I was able to get to a figure in excess of $10,000 for an individual.
You guys remember FEMA worker Marnie Washington, who was called out for dismissing homes and giving them aid because they had Trump signs out in that famous text chain that I talked about weeks ago. Well, today we've got some more confirmation, and it's not Marnie Washington only. I have a ring cam footage. This is breaking right now. You won't see this anywhere else. A ring cam footage of an actual FEMA worker saying on the audio and video that your Trump sign is a real problem for me, and I have more stuff to help with, but I can't because of your Trump sign. Wait till you see this. But first, let me just give you a little contextual. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss that. But check out here our man from Ohio, Jim Jordan, who's laying it all out for Director Criswell. Check this out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Administrator Criswell, is Miss Washington lying to us?
Miss Washington has...
She said it's common practice. You said it's reprehensible and isolated. Both statements can't be true. So someone's not giving us the facts. And I'm kind of trying to figure out who's not telling the truth.
The actions that Miss Washington took were unacceptable.
Well, you had another employee. Now, they remain anonymous, but I think one of my colleagues pointed this out earlier. A FEMA official who spoke on condition of anonymity said Miss Washington likely received, quote, very clear guidance from her supervisors. Is that not that person lying too?
I have not received any evidence outside of the screenshot that Miss Washington directed.
So those two people are wrong. They're not telling the truth to us.
We are currently investigating this.
But that's not what you said. You said this is
IG.
Isolated, reprehensible, hasn't happened. This is the only time. And they're saying, nope, 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 it's commonplace.
I am saying that FEMA's mission is to help all people.
Well, let's look at maybe the best evidence
disaster.
we have is the actual screenshot. Can you put the screenshot up on the screen? Let's look at what the text message said. The text message said, implement best practices. Like, this is the best practices. We're going to implement them. And they talk about making sure you're going in pairs or with more than one person, avoid the Trump homes, drink your water, take your towel, coconut waters. So stay hydrated, walk with someone else, and don't go to the Trump homes. It seems pretty common and matter of fact in the actual evidence we do have, the text message itself. But you're still saying Miss Washington and this other person aren't telling the truth.
When I received this text message, it was not in accordance with the way we conduct business at FEMA, and I directed
even though it said best practices, even though it said stay hydrated, which everyone would agree with, even though it said go in pairs, which everyone would agree with, even though it said bring a towel, make sure you're covered. I mean, it said coconut water is the best way to stay, even though it said all these practical things, the part about avoiding the Trump homes, that's not a best practice, that's not commonplace. Is that what you're saying?
That is nowhere in our policy, and I can't speak to
I'm not saying it's in your policy
behind what Miss Washington did.
But it was okay. Now, and her supervisor, this Mr. Hershey, have you talked to him and to find out if he knew this was happening?
I understand that he was in her chain of command, and this is under investigation.
Have you talked to there's 13 people on this text message. Have you talked to all 13 of those individuals?
This incident is under investigation.
That's not what I asked you. I know it's under investigation, and we know how investigations work when it's done inside the agency. It takes forever. I'm asking, did you talk to the 13 people on this best practices text message?
The Office of Professional Responsibility has taken this, and they are following appropriate protocol to investigate.
Is the Inspector General looking at it as well?
And I have asked the Inspector General to take a look at this.
Any idea when they're going to talk to these 13 people since you have it? Have you talked to, how about you personally? Have you talked to any of these 13 people?
I have not talked to them.
You have not talked to any
I
of them?
have an entire team that focuses on this investigation, and that's what they're doing.
Seems to me it's part of a mindset that's in government. And this is the scary part, because I think it's broader. And you don't have to take my word. Take it what people have said. I mean, this reminds me, we've talked about this many times, but I can think of, well, actually the same person, let's go back to that. The same person who said, that this likely received very clear guidance. This other FEMA official also said this: I've heard from other entities who are serving in North Carolina that there was clear guidance to be mindful, quote, of the types of people who are in Western North Carolina. That's pretty derogatory stuff there, isn't it?
I have not seen any.
But you know what it sounds like? It sounds like Peter Strzok. Peter Strzok, when he said, oh, I just went into Walmart, I can smell the Trump supporters. Sounds like Joe Biden when he said, oh, the garbage I see is the Trump supporters out there. Sounds like the guys the Democrats had, the professor the Democrats had testify back in 2019 in the impeachment. Conservatives, especially very conservative people, tend to spread out, perhaps because they don't even want to be around themselves. This disdain, this mindset that's in the government where everyone's deplorable, everyone's garbage, everyone is, smelly people at Walmart, and be mindful of those people in Western North Carolina. That's what it sounds like. And again, the best evidence is the text message we have, which reinforces that mindset that we have seen from so many people in our government.
I really love Jim Jordan. He's such a rebel. He's such a fighter. He has such great integrity, and he goes after all of these people. Yes, I know what you're thinking in the comments sometimes. Well, he does a lot of talking, but not a lot of action. But, at least there's something, because this is scary, scary stuff. And what I'm about to play for you right now just is further confirmation that the government hates half the country. Watch this.
I'm sorry. No, this is the last. I'm sorry. That's all right. I'm really conflicted. I have a lot more stuff to give, but I am not a fan of Donald Trump. So these signs are a problem for me. And I'm going to have to think about it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we're going to watch this one more time because I know it's an absolute shock. This is a FEMA worker coming to a home in North Carolina and saying literally, I have more stuff, but I'm not a fan of Trump. She has a Trump, this poor homeowner, it looks like a kid, maybe it's not even the mom and dad, has it. You can see the Trump sign in the bottom of your screen there in the front yard. She says, I have a lot more stuff to give, but I'm conflicted. What in the world are you conflicted by? Watch this one more time. Okay, you see the Trump sign right there before she comes out. She's walking up right here. Here we go.
I'm sorry. No, this is the last. I'm sorry. That's all right. I'm really conflicted. I have a lot more stuff to give, but I am not a fan of Donald Trump. So these signs are a problem for me. And I'm going to have to think about it. Okay, thanks.
The signs are a problem for me, so I'm going to have to think about giving you more aid. This should be the biggest news story in the world right now. I have a serious question for you. Have you seen this on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC? Have you seen it on any of the corporate propagandist media network stations? Have you? Let me know in the comments if you have. I would love to stand corrected. I would love to stand corrected, but I have a feeling I'm not going to see that comment below. How dare you deprive help and aid from disaster victims, people who have lost literally everything, based on the single premise of their absolute American constitutional right to share their political beliefs in a fashion that is a tradition in the United States of America for 200 plus years, if not longer. How dare you say, I have more to give you, but I'm not a fan of Trump, and so you'll have to let me think about it. You'll have to let me think about it? One more thing, I don't know if you guys remember this. I did a video on this. Marnie Washington went actually public after she was outed, saying that this was not just me who issued this statement that we should skip Trump houses. It came from the top. It came from Director Criswell. Director Criswell's just another pawn. It came from the top. We know Kamala's a puppet. We know Biden's a puppet. It came from the Soros, Obama, Clinton, God knows who, BlackRock, the deep state, essentially. They tried to defame him. They tried to demean him. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to imprison him. They tried to assassinate him. None of it worked because Americans saw through the BS. Now they're going after us, the people who actually want to see America first. And if you think this is the last of it, if you think this is the end of it, I think you got another thing coming. It would be great to think that, given the fact that we won the mandate on November 5th, which is why I give you my oath and I give you my pledge of allegiance to the truth. I am going to be working day and night to make sure that these people are held accountable, that we expose them, and we finally cleanse our country of the rot gut, the anti-American radical extremists who essentially, if you look at their actions, this isn't even conspiratorial. Just look at the actions. It's reflected in what they do. They hate our country. It's unequivocal. It's 100% certain if you just look at what they've done over the last 4 years with our border, our taxpayer dollars, crime rates, invading our children's schools, invading every industry with these woke, transgender, DEI woke ideologies, etc., etc. Inflation, the economy, crime, it goes on and on and on. And why? For what purpose? The same thing I've been saying to you for months and years. They only care about one thing. They don't care about us, that's for sure. They only care about power and money. That's it. Period. Full stop. Please make this video go viral. Please tap that thumbs up. Share this with everybody you know. This video needs to spread like wildfire. I have a feeling that these platforms are probably going to suppress this and censor it. But the more you tap the thumbs up, the more you watch it the entire way through, comment and share it, we can beat them just like we did on November 5th. And if you're interested, because the people have truly spoken, if you're interested in this 100% made in the USA original merch, pin comment, go check it out. Christmas is coming up. We got hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, backpacks, fanny packs, sweatshirts. I mean, you name it. We got a lot of stuff with different designs. Go check them out in the pin comment. Also, check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. If you haven't seen them already, tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.